Yeah, and we're going to go ahead and run through a second league. I really liked that deck list, so we are going to run it back as is. For anyone who just catches this video on YouTube later, here's what we're looking at. It is red-white taxes with 3 Vryn Wingmares in the main deck over some of the other nonsense that I've been playing recently. And we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. The Sleeping Eye. Looks like my opponent has played Dredge and Grixis Delver in the past. Either way, I like this hand. That's a lot of taxes. It is a lot of taxes. I quite like it myself. I hope my opponent is on Delver and not on that. And this is the second time we've played against Dredge tonight, and it looks like my opponent is going ham. I will probably concede to my opponent's first turn here. Oh my god, they didn't crack their LED in response? They did not crack their LED in response. They only have a single Stinkweed Imp. Okay, if that next Dredge misses, I'm fine. Huh. Alright, that Dredge did not miss. It hit a troll. Yes, we want to draw Thalia. Thalia would be grand. We did not draw Thalia. I am not going to Wasteland. I am just going to plan on deploying a Wingmare next turn and hoping that my opponent has sort of a soft turn. Any bridges they can have I can get rid of with my Mother of Runes, which is awesome. Alright, so there's a few dredgers in there now. There's a therapy in there now. 1 bridge. We are not in immediate danger. And you'll absolutely bet your butt that I will sacrifice a mom to take out a bridge, considering that my opponent has a Cabal Therapy right there. I really wish there were more bridges in there, but... What do you mean, holy crap, Dredge? This is our second time playing against Dredge tonight. So there's a very real cost to putting this second Icarid into play. Like, my opponent now has 1 Dredger left in graveyard. Alright, well, Army of Thalia, you've got a good video to watch from earlier this league. Alright, so there are no bridges in here. So I can trade for something, but I think I want to not trade. I'll take 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think I don't trade, and I keep this taxing effect around and hope that we can get there. The second prized amalgam in the yard is problematic. Alright, batter skull it is. This is a very good play on my opponent's end, using their LED mana to get this ThrabenU mare. It also puts some more black cards back into the graveyard so that they have Icarid food. So that should leave me dead. So I can wasteland the mana confluence so that my opponent can't cast anything. My opponent will put 2 Icarids into play. I get rid of one of them. My opponent attacks in with Icarid, Amalgam, Zombie, and I am dead. Let me just confirm that real quick. So get rid of 1 Icarid, and then there's 5 damage coming in even if I block a 3/3. Yeah, okay. I will just make sure that my opponent returns both, but I am dead. Alright, and now I'll concede. So, against Dredge, on the draw we lost. That's what's supposed to happen. We somehow got the previous match against Dredge. So game 1, lost to really a breakthrough. Like, it was a bad breakthrough, but like it still dumped my opponent's stuff in the graveyard and eventually got there. So now we board in basically our entire sideboard. Blah. What do we do before? P and K out. Magus out. I think we boarded out all or most of the Flicker Wisps. I think we got rid of this sword. Trimmed a Stoneforge and gave up on Revoker for LED. I believe that's what we did. The question before was whether or not, like, we would want a Revoker or, like, one of these lands more. That's a real question. I think I like 100% want to get to like 3 lands every single game. But maybe doing something like that is actually more optimal. On the play, I do have a real chance at stopping an LED. On the draw, I might not. So I might reverse this on the draw. Why not take out the whole Stoneforge package? Because blowing up your own creatures with Jitte to remove Bridge from below is really good. That's why. I think I can do better than this hand. Like, the second Thalia is already dead, and then I have a card that I don't necessarily want as well. This hand is amazing. That's a great scry. Yeah, so even though the Stoneforge package is not good in this matchup, and my opponent should probably name Rest in Peace right here, so our Containment Priest will probably be safe. Yeah, it's a very, very good mulligan. Alright, my opponent names Containment Priest, which is super unfortunate. I'm gonna go ahead and attack with the Mum. If my opponent has like a Firestorm, I'm probably never beating that in a billion years anyway. Yeah, there we go. Super unfortunate that our Containment Priest is in the graveyard now. I think I want a Recruiter for Thalia. Give my opponent one turn with their mana, and then double waste, and then like Thalia and double wasteland them. Since they have that Cabal Therapy, if they hit something, they'll take the Thalia, which is unfortunate. But I think it gives me the best chance at winning. My opponent might have something like a Nature's Claim in hand, since they named Containment Priest over Rest in Peace. Oh boy. Bad things are happening. So that gets the Thalia, which is super unfortunate. But my opponent's Dredge wasn't amazing. Like, there's no bridges yet. There were no creatures that entered play. And I have a path for the one Icarid that they're going to put in play. So that's nice. Instead of stopping my opponent's draw step. That way I can see what happens with their graveyard before I path. Alright. It's unfortunate they hit an Archamoeba there. Faithless looting and Golgari Great Troll. So they just have a looting left. Feels like I'm dead. The good news is that if my opponent attacks, I get rid of some bridges. The bad news is my opponent has a lot of power in play already and is only getting more. Did my opponent just F6 through their entire turn? Like, it seems like they should have at least done something. And that would have been the perfect moment to just draw a Rest in Peace. Yeah, so I guess if they think that like their black creatures are going to be the limiting factor, then all of that is fine. It's very possible that like my opponent just does like no attacks here, yeah, and just poop zombies. All right, this Swords to Plowshares is a little late. All right, I'm very dead. But we're taking out one of the Zikarids before we go. This right here is 16. I guess I can, like, play out another turn and just take 19 damage here. But I have no outs. Alright, okay. That mom was live, so I could have blocked one more. But I'm just so convinced that I'm dead that, yeah. So we lost that game to my opponent's turn 1 blind Cabal therapy on our 1-of Containment Priest. Otherwise, like, we absolutely don't lose that game. But that's okay. Game 2 lost to turn 1 therapy for Priest. That's a very tough matchup, and we were kind of lucky to get it earlier. So I'll take it. Sorry, Jet. How's the spell slinging, Phil? So we finished our first league of the night 4-1 with a loss to Death and Taxes in the last round. And the other matches there that we won were Dredge, Grixis Delver, Grixis Delver, Grixis Delver. And then we just lost to Dredge now. Got really wrecked by Cabal Therapy on our Containment Priest. Any changes to the list? I don't remember when the last time you were here was, but we're running the 3 Wingmare build. I don't know if you were here last time when we were trying out the Restoration Angel. Wingmare has done a lot of work tonight. Looks like I'm going to be in the queue forever here. Oh, great, you're that far along already? Well done. And the recruiters are... I don't pretend to remember how much magic cards are worth anymore, but I can't imagine the recruiters are more than a couple of dollars each, so that's nothing. This build has felt really, really solid now. Sucker number 1. This hand looks like gas. See if I have any data on my opponent. Chat, I'll just let you be surprised. I'll just let you be surprised, chat. Recruiters are like $10. That's not so bad. Does Recruiter see... Never mind. Recruiter's not legal in Modern, right? Because it was in like some side set. We have a guess for Grixis Delver. Okay, never mind. The last time I saw this opponent, they were playing Elves. They're not playing Elves. So, I'm very happy. Even if this is a Punishing Fire, I'm still very happy. Oh, chat, I fucked up. I so fucked up there. Oh my god, I fucked up. Let's spike a red source so I don't feel like an idiot. I was supposed to fetch Plateau there so that I could curve Revoker into Magus, and I just, like, autopiloted and thought, oh, I want another plane so that I can have 2 under Magus. Not punished. The awkward part being that my opponent can return Punishing Fire this Magus on their turn. So I can't actually play this quite yet. So I have to set myself up to do this a turn down the line by playing this Wingmare, and they return Grove, and then they'll like kill one of my guys, and then with this Grove tapped, I can Magus. Alternatively, I can get some Jite counters and then, like, Magus and Jite in the same turn. They can't kill Revoker in response to Wingmare because the Revoker is on the Mox Diamond in the first place. Yeah, no problem. Like, it's really easy to miss stuff. Like, for example, missing the fact that you need red mana to cast your Magus of the Moon, but you're a total luck sack and you get rewarded anyway. Really wanted my opponent to kill one of my creatures there. So do I just have to jam this Magus now and let them kill it? That seems awful. But if I don't, they, like, get rid of the Revoker. If I just play this Jitte, then my opponent Punishing Fires the Revoker now, returns Grove, Punishing Fires the Wingmare, and then, like, I'm just, like, super dead. I don't think I can just play the Jitte. So, like, how does Jitte work out? I don't think Jitte works out. If I Jitte, they cast Punishing Fire on the Revoker, opening up one of their mana. They return Grove. They use 3 mana, kill Wingmare. Like, my line might just be aggro them out. So if I play the Magus this turn, the Magus dies to the Punishing Fire, but then they can't Punishing Fire another creature without a land? No, Rek, that doesn't work because of my Wingmare. I guess I can play land, let them kill Revoker, port Grove, hope they use Punishing Fire again, and then Magus. It's a bad spot. Yeah. So I'm not going to upkeep port, though. I'm just going to wait. See? So now right here, my opponent should Punishing Fire this Wingmare. Yeah. And now I get to Magus. Oh, that was literal best draw on the deck right there. Oh, sweet. And now my opponent gets exactly this turn to kill my Magus, or it gets Jitte counters and never dies. Alright, opponent. Show me another Punishing Fire. Don't actually show me the Punishing Fire, please. Ah, fuck. Actually, this isn't as bad as it looks. So, when my opponent Molten Vortexes this Magus of the Moon, they will create a Merit Lodge, which I will then Caracas. I think I'm actually going to equip the Revoker here rather than the Magus, because I think it is almost 100% certain that my opponent has a land in hand, given that they are playing lands. Alright, so there goes the Revoker. I wonder if my opponent realizes what's going to happen. They target me. Okay. Does my opponent just have loam and they're just gonna like loam a bunch of stuff back and burn me out? That's their plan? Okay. Like if they have the loam though, they should... Yeah, my opponent is not taking the best line here. My opponent 100% should just like kill the Magus and then just start like looping Wasteland and Dark Depths until I die. But instead, I get to make a Batter Skull. So Rect asks, are they thinking they want the Magus for multiple Vortex mana? Like, if my opponent just deploys... Like, if my opponent just kills this Magus, I cannot win. Just 100% cannot win. And, like, if they kill the Magus, they also get their Punishing Fire back, too. So, like, I can't win on a number of levels. If I just... Equipping here causes them to kill the Magus, and then I can't win, which is unfortunate. But I don't really have another line. Not that one. I'm not gonna concede because, like, I could draw another Magus and, like, maybe get it equipped. No, I'm gonna concede. I'm not winning this one. Like, I'm not dead yet, but like my opponent has so many resources that are all very, very good against me that I'm not getting through that, and I think I value my clock more. It's sort of unfortunate. I played pretty well that game, with the exception of, like, the one minor punt at the beginning. Sideboarding for this matchup's awkward. I don't like sideboarding for this matchup. So, I normally board out Revokers, but my opponent showed me the Molten Vortex, so I think I have to keep them in. P and K is super awkward on the mana, so I'll probably cut that. I can probably trim, like, one piece of equipment and a Stoneforge, and trim some number of Swords to Plowshares. Maybe it's more Swords to Plowshares. With this Wingmare centric build, it's very possible that I can fight my opponent on sort of a mana front and aggro them out relatively easily. So sort of on that front, I don't necessarily want to be casting Stoneforge early. Like, I'd love to be, like, curving Thalia into Wingmare, into more Wingmare or Magus. But the Stoneforge fetches sort of Fire and Ice, which is one of the best cards, so that's tricky. I don't like when I have to keep Revoker in this matchup. Sorry, I need to take that. This hand doesn't apply any pressure, but it has an Aether Vial, and Vial is great. It buys time, but it doesn't have a Rest in Peace. It doesn't have any hate cards. Like, I guess this gets rid of a Merit Lodge. And my top decks are good. But, like, I don't have the potential to, like, Moon Man or anything like that at all with this hand. But it stops the Punishing Fire side of the deck. This is close. I'm going to ship this one. Sand is much better. As soon as we get a white source, we have this Rest in Peace. For the sake of curve, I am casting this Rest in Peace right now. Even though I might not necessarily get the most value out of it if my opponent just goes like something like Mox Diamond, Croson Grip. But like next turn is Moon Man, so. Maybe my next turn isn't Moon Man. We'll see. So Rec 42 likes keeping the first hand. The first hand is really close. Like, I would not fault anyone for keeping that. I thought I could do better, and I did. That's a great draw. If they just like Punishing Fire this Magus, next turn, like we can just recruit her for another. No, they don't just have the Punishing Fire. So that's good. Scary. I'm just gonna get the backup Magus. And I just thought of Croson Grip as something that my opponent could get. So I'm just going to put the second one into play now. Like, I really don't want my opponent to, like, get a Croson Grip. And then, like, I just have this Magus stuck in my hand for a little while. And then they, like, Punishing Fire one. Alright, they're sending a lot of lands to the Exile Zone over there. And I have a decently swift clock. So if my opponent has double Punishing Fire, they can't actually cast both and still attack me with this, so I'm safe to tap out for this. Or actually, yeah, that's fine. Alright, that one was easy. I guess I didn't consider the Cataclysms when boarding before. So game 3, or excuse me, game 2 win with Magus. So part of the problem with Cataclysm in this matchup is that if you cast it when you don't have a Rest in Peace, they rebuild so incredibly quickly that, like, sometimes you just can't catch up. The other issue is that, like, I'm going on this, like, Thalia Wingmare plan, which is anti-synergistic with Cataclysm. Like, if I make Cataclysm 5 mana or 6 mana, then it's really rough. But on any game where I have a Rest in Peace and then I cast Cataclysm, I just, like, 100% win. The slots are already really tight in this deck list, though. And if I played Cataclysm, I'd probably be dropping Wingmares. And I don't know that that's the best trade. So I think I'm going to run it back without Cataclysm. Go down a land for a Stoneforge on the draw. I don't know about that. I'm going to be mulliganing this hand. It only has one land, and that's dangerous. This isn't great, but I'm going to keep it. I'm not even 100% sure that I want this vial. I'm land heavy as is, and I think I'd rather just find a Magus. If I take the vial, the bottom of the vial. Alright, opponent's going ham. Looks like a loam. Yeah, naked loam. Drawing Rest in Peace would be insane. Oh, that was great. So that was a Life from the Loam that did not produce any Life from the Loam targets. Ugh. Alright, there's a tabernacle there now. It's not good for me. Alright, they have figured it out. Oh, I got rid of my upkeep stop, apparently, and replaced it with a draw step stop. My opponent now can wasteland lock me. I'm not just going to play out my lands into a wasteland here. I'll play a Thalia to make my opponent bounce it. But that's all. Alright. My opponent got a Ghost Quarter. That's bad news for me. Yeah, drawing lands this entire game has been rough. Once my opponent realizes that I don't have any more basics in my deck and they start Ghost Quartering me, 100% dead. Until then, we play on. Yeah. So now if they Ghost Quarter me again, I am 100% dead and I have no outs. I guess that's not true because I can, like, draw an Ether Vial and, like, go that way, but I will be dead to just, like, regular Dark Depths off manually removing counters before I would take a Vial up to 3. So Chad, I'll save you that, and I'll just concede here. Oh yeah, we were real dead this game. Rough. It's a loss. So game 3, we essentially flood. Like, our opening hand wasn't great, but, like, we had plenty of times where drawing a Rest in Peace or a Magus would have done a lot of work. Alright, we're an unimpressive 0-2 going into the start of this league, which is not amazing. We'll see how we do. I'm probably not going to stream any later than about 10 or 10:30. So if we have one that drags on for a while, that'll probably be our last one. If they go quickly, I'll keep playing. Come on, Nick Fit. Alright, we're playing against 007PH. God damn it. Okay, no, those are results from 2017. They could be on anything. I'll keep this hand. So this is kind of cool because, like, I get to lead on Cavern Human into Cavern Artificer, and Artificer hits both P and K and Stoneforge. I really hope my opponent isn't on Dredge, though. They were seen on Dredge in, like, 2017, but... Alright, it's Dredge. I haven't seen a lot of careful study these days. Oh god. You have a looting and you're gonna go ham on me? Please no. Give me a chance to draw a Revoker. Oh, chat, why? And there's an Elish Norn in the graveyard too. Chat, how are we playing against Dredge 3 times in one night? It's like 2% of the metagame. Alright, let's pop out this graveyard and see how bad it is. So it's double Narcomoeba bad. No bridges yet. Infinite Dredgers, 1 Therapy. The Therapy's not likely to hit, though, with what's going on in my hand. Exclamation mark Dredge. We dead. It's not quite that bad, but it's bad. And I am 100% getting rid of this. Well, maybe not. My opponent is unlikely to take a draw step to try to hit a land to, like, Cephalid Coliseum and go crazy. They're just gonna, like, dredge the troll. So because of that, Wastelanding doesn't actually do any good. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to Stoneforge. Yeah, Army of Thalia. Seriously though, if you have any ideas for cute commands or anything like that that you would like to see, let me know and we can make that happen. So like, I have this one set up, for example, where like I say elves and we dead, but I haven't set that up for very many things. I have a couple of custom commands underneath the stream. We can make more at some point. So the dredge from the grave troll was essentially 100% miss. Still no bridges in the graveyard. So since there's no bridges, I don't block. And now we hope to draw a white source to put in this batter skull and do something that resembles stabilizing this game. Hey! There's hope. Why not keep Mom back to block Icarid? My opponent is not going to attack in with an Icarid into the batter skull. That's not happening. Okay, that was a good one. That hit a bridge. And now we need to dodge Dread Return so we don't get Eleshnorn, although luckily we have the Caracas. Yeah, now, but last turn. So keeping the Mom back would have been fine. Like you're playing the point of damage versus them hitting a bridge off of 6 cards. Like, sort of War and Peace. Sort of War and Peace is love, sort of War and Peace is life. I like that. Like, if my opponent had a bridge in the graveyard already, I wouldn't have made that attack. Yeah, they named the Jete. It's real good. Praise be. If we dodge Bridge from Below this turn, I think we take this game over. Or excuse me. If we dodge, like, Dread Return for Elish Norn, I think we take the game over after this turn. Great. Alright, let's have a quick read of Bridge from Below for the chat. So, when a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard from the battlefield, if Bridge from Below is in your graveyard, exile Bridge from Below. This means that a token can die. So what we're going to do is just equip our Batterskull over to a Thopter, and that'll kill the Germ and get rid of the Bridge from Belows. The non-token part refers to the opponent's graveyard, not to our graveyard. And hey, look at that. There go those bridges. I'll swing this too. I don't want to swing P and K. Yeah, Dredge does require some really weird lines. So, like, also available to me is, like, P and K kill one of your guys, but my Thopter thingy hits the graveyard before your guy dies, so, like, that would get rid of the bridges, too. My opponent has no bridges. That's awesome. They have 17 cards left in their library. That means there's 3 bridges left towards the bottom. So my opponent goes and attacks in with both of those. This is just free for me, right? So, like, I just do this, and I do this. I can chuck. No, okay. I know what I'm doing. In case my opponent takes a natural draw, I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that. And we'll create a lot of Thopters. So this should be the natural draw this turn. Yep. So I believe I play Vile, chuck Vile at Narcomoeba, then I 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the air. Assuming I don't just, like, PNK my PNK here. Alright, so we got another game 1 against Dredge, which is great. So game 1. Use B-Skull to remove bridges and stabilize. Awesome. So PNK does a lot of really weird things, as you probably saw there. But it's coming out. Sorry, PNK. You did great work, though. So essentially, we board out a lot of our slower cards for early interaction and hate. Sort by converted mana cost and see what else I want to get rid of. Since I have all these wing mirrors, I have just a ton of cards. I guess I can trim a Stoneforge and run this. And that seems solid. Ooh, sorry, Army of Thalia had a question. Question, when it came to Direfleet Daredevil versus Rest in Peace, did anyone mention Fairy Macabre as a potential replacement to Rip? Not as powerful, but it allows you to play both while still having some graveyard hate. Yes, plenty of people mentioned that, and Grafdigger's Cage as well. But Rip is amazing. So, this hand is a little bit slow, but since it has Vile and Recruiter, that means that on turn 3 I cast Recruiter and have Containment Priest, and that may be good enough. It is a little land heavy, though. But if I rip, like, a Thalia, Containment Priest, Canonist, Revoker, all of that would be really good. I think I'm fine keeping this. Like, Dredge doesn't always have the nuts, especially in the post-sideboard games when they go and side in a bunch of hate. Or, more accurately, I should say counter hate. Like, they have to play a bunch of, like, Nature's Claims and such, so they're just not stone cold dead to a Rest in Peace or something like that. Again, not going to try to wasteland or anything like that. Is it a bad idea to just have arid mesas for fetch lands? No. Like, the best way to do it is run, like, one of each fetch land and then two of another one. Since we're not running a basic mountain, we don't need to specifically run Arid Mesa. Alright, opponent is going to go nuts with the Cephalid Coliseum. Oh, no, they're not. Yeah, Sorcerer's Spyglass is a turn 1 play that you'll see a lot from decks like Eldrazi and Big Eldrazi, and sometimes even the Mud decks as well. Let's pop out of his graveyard here. See how dead we are. We're not super dead yet. There's a Dread Return there, but no real good Dread Return targets. It's good to know that my opponent is playing Firestorm. Alright, so now my opponent can Dread Return, sack these 3 Narcomoebas, and get back a giant Grave Troll. That seems sweet. Yeah, if my opponent just Dread Returns, they create a 10/10 Troll. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 power. They attack for 18 next turn, plus Icarid. Yeah, if they Dread Return me, I'm dead. So I don't know what the holdup exactly is. Alright, there it is. Alright. So we lost game 2. So game 2, opponent goes nuts. Turn 2. On play. I'm thinking about if I want the last Stoneforge over anything else in my deck right now, because on the times where my opponent just makes a bunch of zombie tokens, the Batterskull is very important. But most of these cards are very, very good. I could trim 1 Mom and just like keep that last Stoneforge in the deck, which is probably fine. Mom's not particularly good in this matchup. Like Mom's primary job is die. This hand's awkward. It has a lot of removal for Icarids, but I would really like to try to go under my opponent this game, and this hand does not do that. This hand has no lands. Opponent tanking, they keep their 7, I'll mulligan again. This has lands, but this doesn't win a game of Magic on 5. I have no threats, I have no pressure, I have no real hate. I think I want to try to look for a Rest in Peace or Athalia and go to 4. Alright, we got both. Keep. Scar land to the top? No. Bottom. Not a land. Alright, Chad, if we hit land, that would be awesome. Land is the most common draw in my deck. Can we get there? Yeah, Moxall, I'm hoping like we get to like try to draw the land. My opponent might just like Faithless Looting or Careful Study, crack LED in response, and kill me. Alright, there's an Elesh Norn in there. Come on, land. 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 Fuck. Oh, great, they've got Iona in their deck too. That's terrifying. I missed the memo that there's a second stream and I tune into this. Yeah. If we average our opening hands, we have functional hands. Yeah, alright, my opponent hits the Rest in Peace off the Cabal Therapy. Fantastic. So let me pop this out so you all can see that. Opponent flipped 3 Dredgers there, and a second Elesh Norn. They're not messing around on that front. Casting that Golgari Thug. Which I guess I'm using a Swords to Plowshares on. No red cards in my deck, right? No. but it should not matter. So I'm going to just fetch the plateau and throw off that misdirection. We're going to take this up to 3 in case we draw a recruiter so that we can... Oh, fuck me, I forgot to swords that Golgari Thug. Well, I guess this worked out, because I would want to swords and Icarid much more anyway. Alright, there's a bridge there now. Luckily, my opponent has a bunch of hot garbage in hand. And now that there's a bridge, I don't think I'll attack. Like, it essentially just puts another Dredger in their graveyard and upgrades their Golgari Thug into a 2/2. So we'll just play a Canonist and try to draw into a Containment Priest, or a Recruiter for a Containment Priest. Glad to see those Firestorms go into the bin. Less glad to see second bridge and Dread Return. Dread Return for Elesh Norn or Iona right now would be devastating. My opponent gets to looting, but this will be their whole turn. Now a third bridge in there. Alright, opponent has all 4 Firestorms in the graveyard, so if I get a Containment Priest, that is that. We are done. Very interactive and fun game of Magic over here. Alright, the game should end its turn. My opponent can mess up. I can't, yeah, alright, so Dread Return on Elesh Norn here, plus a billion D bridge triggers is decent. So I mulligan very aggressively, Missed on my land drop to win the game. Missed on Recruiter, Containment Priest to win the game over multiple turns. It's unfortunate, but oh well. I just want to take one more draw step to like see if I draw it now 1 turn late for total mize. No, okay. Two turns down the line. Alright, loss. So game 3, mull to 4, miss land for rip, and miss multiple chances at recruiter or priest for win. Alright, so we did a 4-1 into an 0-3 there. So be it. We'll go ahead and just drop from this one. And I'm going to go ahead and call the stream there for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining me for 2 leagues tonight. I hope you enjoyed all of this. And I will see you again soon. Oh, so one last thing before I go. I will be doing a bonus stream at some point either this weekend or at the beginning of next week for hitting my follower goal. And I wanted any sort of feedback on that. So when I talked to the Facebook group, they suggested a couple of different things. Just play a stock mono white list, just so we can see what that's like. Play a list that includes Mangara for fun. Play Malamujo's list that had the Brimaz in it. Or one other thing that I came up with was just like play a toolbox recruiter of the guard based build with a bunch of like random situationally good one-ofs. Does anyone have any thoughts on what you would like to see for the bonus stream? You know, since it's you all that made that happen, you know, you all are my followers, my cultists. You know, what can I do to make you happy? What would you like to see in the mono white build that I'm going to play? Alright, toolbox Brimaz, vote for Mangara. So like no matter what, the bonus stream will be with a white deck. So so Cyan, you're gonna get that. So you like stock mono white, you like how it's running, or no, see how it's running in the current meta. Yeah, like the stock build might be the build that is just like best to showcase because like I have a lot of newer D&T players who follow along, so like that's true. You want to see some Spirit of the Labyrinth? Spirit of the Labyrinth is a reasonable inclusion. I don't necessarily love it myself. In a different day, I'll talk about that a little bit more. So maybe I'll make a poll, and on Monday night's stream, I'll put a link to the poll, and whatever wins there, we'll do it. That sounds kind of like a good idea. So expect to see a poll Monday night, and then probably either Tuesday or Thursday next week we can do that. Moat plus flyers. It's not unreasonable. Moat's probably like 50 cents on Magic Online because that's how all that stuff works. All right, Chad, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night, but thank you for your comments. If you have any more, feel free to post them, and I'll go ahead and read them even though I'm signing off. Magus of the Moat. Too much Magus. Too much Magus. Oh, chat's coming through with a lot of ideas now. All right, feel free to keep chatting, chat. I'm going to catch you later, and I'll read anything you post. Cheers.